There's no two ways about it. The ArriveCAN scandal is awful. As Auditor General Karen Hogan said when she made her report on Tuesday, it was the worst mess she'd ever seen in government financing. But don't let that distract you from the fact that the ArriveCAN scandal is nothing new. There are scores of cases with the Trudeau government of things they have been too incompetent to handle properly. Yes, awful that the ArriveCAN app was 750 times its original budget. It was supposed to cost $80,000 for the government to set up an app on our phones that would allow us to come back into the country or visitors to come in and make sure that we didn't have COVID. It went up to $54 million in the Canadian Border Service Agency's estimate. And Auditor General Hogan said, no, it's closer to 60, but the books were so badly kept. I can't tell for sure whether it was 60 million or more. 60 million rather than 80,000. That's crazy. 76% of the subcontractors who got work to do on the ArriveCAN app, 76% of the IT contractors did no work at all. So 3/4 of the people who were hired to do work on this app and were paid handsomely did no work at all. And the real kicker for me is that as a result of this poor app, because it initially, despite its huge expense, worked very, very badly. It sent 10,200 people coming into Canada, mostly snowbirds who were returning from their winter away in Florida or California or somewhere warm. 10,200 of them were sent into quarantine mistakenly. They had to spend 14 days, often in government-approved hotels at their own expense, because the ArriveCAN app, which cost 750 times what it was supposed to cost, didn't work properly. That's appalling. But think about it. This is a government that can't build frigates. It ordered icebreakers that turn out not to be able to break ice all that well. It was going to give tents to every poor family in the country so that they could all experience the great outdoors. And they've never done anything. Like, I don't think they've bought a peg or a pole for a poor family. They promised to plant 2 billion trees. Even by the most generous calculation, since they made that promise now more than 5 years ago, they've maybe planted 400 million. And there are private companies that you make paper out of trees or make lumber out of trees that plant more than that in a single summer. This government cannot do anything properly. It doesn't fund the military. It overspends on payroll. It's added 40% to its payroll since it came to power in 2015. 40% in 8 years. Has your government service improved by 40%? Of course not. They have the highest level of debt that Canada's ever had. And on and on and on. They are totally incompetent.
Overall,
so the ArriveCAN scandal, as bad as it is, doesn't surprise me at all. It's merely the worst symptom of a totally incompetent government. For Postmedia, I'm Lorne Gunter.